Welcome to the RJLT Economics. In this very short podcast, I want to discuss the comments made by Jerome Powell. I want to essentially re-emphasize my conviction that the Fed Reserve is not going to pivot, however your definition of a pivot is going to be. And as I have discussed previously in a couple of episodes, and I think I will try to find them in the description below. I find them and put them in the description below. I have argued that the primary asset for the US empire is the US dollar. And it is now, without a doubt, being challenged by, let's say, competitors and perhaps some people would interpret as foes. And this means that the primary task for the Federal Reserve and for the deep state, people who are not ideologues, but or maybe they are ideologues that believe in the US empire, but who are not so reckless as to expand with every asset and every last bit of wealth of the US empire for some personal reasons or personal initiatives. These people, their primary task is to protect the US dollar. And this can come at the expense of jobs. It can come at the expense of the asset markets. It can come at the expense of the wealth of billionaires. As long as the US empire is protected, is preserved, things can actually continue. And billionaires can recover, they can become even richer. And jobs, employment, well, those people never really cared. So that has always been my thesis. And with the comments made by Jerome Powell, even though the asset market the asset markets, not a single one, the stock market, but also the housing market, and we see the bond market that is experiencing a level of pain that a lot of the asset managers are not used to. Because a lot of these asset managers came into this business in the 2000s and 2010s, and they are so accustomed to the Federal Reserve bailing them out with whatever that they can, basically actually just money printing and quantitative easing, this brilliant idea. So they expect that every minute now that the Federal Reserve is going to pivot, that is going to start or restart quantitative easing, and that money will refloat the markets, and they will start making easy money again. But this is, in my judgment, a misinterpretation of the primary tasks of the Federal Reserve. And moreover, in this podcast, I want to emphasize that, since I have discussed before, but perhaps I haven't made it so clear, and in this short one, I want to make it very, very clear that to fight inflation, you don't just raise interest rates because somehow magically that is going to cure inflation. You can fight inflation with two ways, right? You increase your production such that you have enough. You have more products and services. You have enough product and services such that price comes down or price stops increasing, right? That's one way. But this way it's infeasible at the moment, and usually it is not feasible. And the other way is to make money scarce. And how do you do that? You need to make sure that people lose jobs. I'm sorry to say this, but unemployment needs to go up, salaries need to come down, and businesses need to go bankrupt, and stock markets and all the other asset financial markets, they need to come down. That is how you fight inflation. You need to have these economic pains. That's the only way to fight inflation. Not the only way. That's the second way. It's the less preferred way, but when you have a level of inflation that is very high and you cannot increase your productivity at the same pace, you have to do the other way. And of course, a lot of people will say that as you you make unemployment high, salary low, businesses go bankrupt, and financial markets go down, the productivity will shrink and the entire size of the economy will come down, and this will not actually help with the inflation situation, because as money becomes more scarce, so does, in this case, products, the availability of products and services. To some extent, and in a lot of cases, this is indeed correct. And this is exactly why it is so tricky. And as Milton Friedman said, it's like a Pandora's box that you do not want to open inflation. Once inflation is out of, what is it called? A genie's bottle? A genie is out of the bottle. It's very difficult to put it back, right? But there is no other way. You have to balance it. This is why you see that the Federal Reserve sometimes releases some dovish signs, but once the asset market rallies, they need to become hawkish again. Because in my judgment, if I'm the primary policy maker, what I would ensure is that the stock market will have to go down. I need to make sure that a lot of those bubbly businesses, they go bankrupt. Why? Because I want to preserve jobs, right? To have a lot of people lose jobs, that makes stability of the country, social stability, a problem. But I still need this money to get tight. I still need that a lot of pain in the economy. How do I do that? Where do I find the room? I will find rooms in those bubbly economies. I would make companies such as Netflix, if they need to go bankrupt, they go bankrupt. Companies like Meta, who actually just really provides nothing and perhaps indeed decreases the productivity by taking away the attention of the people. If this type of company goes bankrupt, it's perfectly fine with me. Now, obviously, I don't want companies such as Intel, even Apple, or even Amazon. I don't want these companies to go bankrupt because they are very important for my strategic strength. They are very important for the economy, for the productivity. But so you need to be very selective in doing this. But as a macro policymaker, I can't be so selective, and this is why you see a lot of back and forth. So I think this is really what is going on, right? I wanted to do a recap, but I think this is short enough that anyone who has listened to this point should probably already get the idea. Now, I know that perhaps the microphone is of very poor quality. Yesterday I did it with my laptop, and today I'm trying to do it with webcam. I see that it probably is clipping from time to time. I will try to add a compressor so that it does not clip very badly to this recording. But I apologize if the sound is a little bit bad. Thanks very much, and make sure to follow me on Twitter, Telegram, and Chain Critics. Thank you very much. Have a great day.